Hey y'all, John PT, Dan Sandler Training. How we doing, Dan?
Hi, John. Great.
Can you see anything beyond the shirt, or are you kind of mesmerized by the brightness?
Just don't go back and forth. You'll hypnotize.
Gotcha. All right, so let's talk about ROI conversations. I think my belief in a generalization sense is they're lacking. In a specific sense, I know and see that they're lacking at times, sometimes from a PT side and sometimes from our clients in the field. Here's what I mean. On the prospecting side, you need to have those conversations so you have clarity of, okay, if you close this average client, what does that mean to you? And you're starting to determine, hey, will our service turn in a reasonable time frame if everything comes together? Existing clients, hey, where are you on the ROI cycle? What's actually happening in the field? Let's get the feedback. What did you close? All that kind of stuff, because it shines a light on why somebody does a marketing or a sales effort is turn ROI. And if you don't keep a light on that, they're going to stray. So talk about in the sales process, and then as you have a client, how those conversations should go and ways, I guess, to get better at it, maybe, or start doing it if you're not doing it.
It definitely starts in the sales process when you're talking to them as a prospect. Try to find out what their pain is. And those of us in sales understand that. Once we find their pain, how much does that cost them? What's the effect on the bottom line or top line on that? And you start to record those numbers. And then when you're done with all the pain that you've accumulated from them, you add up those numbers. Let's just say it comes out to $1 million. And then you simply ask the question, if I had a machine that could spit out $1 million a year to you, how much would you pay me for it? And what that starts to do is give you a sense of their decision on what an appropriate ROI is. So let's
Yes.
pretend they say, well, I'd give you 100,000. You go, okay, so you need a 10-to-1 ROI. And that starts that conversation. So that's the first thing. Second, you ask them, how are you going to track this? Put that burden on them. Let them be responsible because they know their business way better than you do.
Yeah.
Let them figure out how they're going to track that ROI. Once they become a client or a customer, get that information from them. And then on your monthly or quarterly recap meetings that you have with the CEO or the president or whoever, you say, okay, how are we doing on the ROI? Are we exceeding? Are we below? If we're below, what can we do differently? And that evokes a ton of conversations right there. And
Yeah.
most people stray away from that because they never did it in the sales process.
Yeah. I think one of the things that really jumps out at me in what you just shared there that I hear frequently when ROI conversations do happen in the prospecting phase, too often we learn what somebody's going to earn per client. We earn what they feel is reasonable to close on an annual basis. So maybe that means the ROI is 3-to-1, whatever it is. But instead of asking somebody a really important question, they said there, so what would you pay for X in revenue? Because that really helps you understand the mindset of how they view things. You could be thinking, hey, 3-to-1s, it's really solid. And they're going, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Right.
Conversely, because of their business model and the difficulties with gaining, maybe 2-to-1 they're really good with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what you really described there is vital, and it's that telling versus asking element with prospecting that is kind of a consistent theme at times.
Yeah. And unfortunately, most people in sales, they do a lot of telling.
Yeah.
We just need to ask more. And once you uncover what those answers are, then that's a good tool to help you gauge whether or not working with this client is working or not.
Yeah. So have that upfront on the prospecting side and ongoing with the client of, okay, we had an expectation of this, what's actually playing out.
Right.
But like what you said, put the burden on them. How are you going to track this? How are you going to know?
Yes.
Very important.
All right.
All
Have
right.
fun.
See you again tomorrow.
Take care.